Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking my holiday winter themed palettes. I did this for Halloween palettes and you guys seem to really enjoy that style instead of me just showing what's in my collection. So I'm going to be doing that for you guys today. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bri. I'm a crazy lover of all things beauty and I like to post a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, and I like to do a lot on indie makeup. So if that is what you're into, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. I'm so excited to be filming a holiday themed video. I have my Christmas decor up. I have a very Christmassy kind of look on. I actually did film this look. I have the Nomad Chicago Speak Easy palette on, and I also have two cheek products from the Oden's Eye. Was it the Luminous and Shadow collection? So if you want to see how I put this together, I'll link that video below. I'll put it up in the corner. But of course, I'll always have my makeup linked too, in case you're ever curious of what I'm wearing on my face. So for this ranking, I'm going to base it on different factors like color story, actual formula, how versatile is it, how much do I gravitate towards it, is it giving me like the holiday winter vibes, just different things like that. And I have about, I think, 15 palettes to rank here, so I have a good amount of things to go over. So I think we should jump into the ranking now. So the first palette that is at the bottom of the ranking, which is from a brand that I adore, I just don't know what is going on with them, and it's the Snow Dream palette from Oden's Eye. This was their holiday release from last year, and I was just really underwhelmed by this color story and the formula. The mattes were just not as pigmented as I'm used to from Oden's Eye. It didn't have enough depth in here, and I don't know, I was just expecting more from the brand because their holiday palettes from the year prior were so good. Like, people just adore them. I love them, and they're going to be way higher up on the rankings. So I was just like really surprised that this is what we got the next go around. So I do feel like they've changed their formula, and even their palettes I've tried this year have just been lacking a lot in terms of pigmentation, especially with their mattes. Now the shimmers are nice in here. The only one that I did not vibe with is the Frankincense shade. It is a hollow chrome, and when you use it, it just makes shimmer and sparkle just go all over your face, your hair. It's like a glitter explosion. So I don't know what's going on with that shade. Maybe it just doesn't have enough binding in it to get the shade to stick on your lids instead of the sparkle just flying everywhere. It took forever for me to get the sparkle completely off of me. Even when I showered, I still kept finding sparkle everywhere, and I was like, okay, that is way too much. So I stopped even wanting to use that shade. So it just wasn't what I was expecting from Oden's Eye. And that brings me to their other one that's in the bottom of the ranking, the Hey Reindeer palette. This one is a little bit better in terms of the color story and having at least one shade for deepening, but it was another one where the mattes were just not as pigmented as I'm used to from them. The shimmers are nice, but I just wasn't like wowed by it, and also very underwhelmed by this one. And I don't know, it's just because I have like such a high expectation for Oden's Eye because I've loved so many of their palettes and their formula, but I'm just sad with the changes, and I hope that they go back to what they were doing before, because even the, like I said, the palettes I've tried this year have also been underwhelming with the mattes. So I don't know what's happening with them. And then we're going on to the next one in the ranking, which is the Nomad Whistler Snow Lodge palette. This one is super cute. It's like, you know, being in the ski resort, snowing, skiing, all that good stuff. And this one is in the older formula from Nomad. So the mattes are a little bit more sheer, more buildable. The shimmers are more smooth, more satinish, not as exciting as like their newer palettes that have way more sparkly shades, like the Nomad one right here. The Chicago Speak Easy one is so good. Mattes are nice and pigmented, but these ones you just have to build a lot more, and the shimmers are just not as exciting. That's why I put it on the lower end, but I still think it's cute, and I still really like the color story. But that's the only thing. It's not my favorite formula. Then we're going on to the Naughty palette from BH Cosmetics, which RIP BH Cosmetics. I'm so sad about that brand pretty much disappearing and being taken over by Makeup Revolution. I don't think they're really coming out with anything under BH Cosmetics anymore. And I did hear that some of the new like Makeup Revolution palettes seem to be having the BH Cosmetics formula, which I rather have them still produce things under this name and with their like theming and products, because it's just devastating to not be able to get their beautiful palettes anymore, because they used to be that girl. Like, everybody loved their palettes, but this one was so good. It has really good mattes in here. That's what stands out about this palette. The shimmers, so more satiny. There are 2 pressed glitters. Not a big fan of those, but I just love the variety of shades that were in here. I could create so many different looks with this one, and the quality of the mattes were just so good. Felt like they were just coming from like a high-end premium brand in terms of their matte formula. And I don't know, I'm just sad. I'm getting sad just looking at this palette. It was so good. There's so many options, and for being a bigger palette, I thought the variety was really good. I didn't feel like there was like redundancy in here too. And then this brings me to the Midwinter Dream palette from Ensley Reign. This was a collab with Britany Huffman. This was the first palette I ever tried from the brand, and I think the color story is so pretty and very ethereal. And the reason why I put this up over the other ones is because I really like some of these shimmers in here. The Essence Shifty ones are so pretty. Some are a little bit more flaky and foiled. Now, there are a good amount that lean satiny, and the mattes weren't my favorite. This is definitely the older formula from Ensley Reign. You know, a bit cheaper packaging, but they have improved so much since this palette. Like, their formula has gotten so good, their packaging has gotten so good. They do magnetic pans now. These ones are like glued in, so you can't really pull out or switch out the shades without ruining the palette, but I still enjoy it, and I think I'll keep this one too forever, because this is what got me in love with Ensley Reign. That's where the obsession started. And then we're going on to the Gourmande Girl Silent Night palette. The formula in here is excellent. So the only reason why this is not higher up is the color story. It's a very specific set color story. There's not enough variety for my liking, and I don't tend to do like monochromatic looks very often, and I just feel like I just can't do as much as I can do with palettes that have more variety in the shades. You know, you can really just do like a blue, brown, blue, yellow, you know, like you stick in a certain color family with this palette, but the formula, chef's kiss. Beautiful pigmented mattes, beautiful shimmers, and I mean, it's on point for the theme. I just felt like some of the shades were a little too close, and I don't know, I would have liked to see a little bit more variety, but it's still excellent and gorgeous. And I do have a code with Gourmande Girls. It is Breezy Beauty, so if you want to save some money off from their products, you can use that. It is affiliated. I do also have one with Ensley Reign, which is also Breezy Beauty. Just wanted to put that out there, but my codes are always in the description. I just always forget to mention them. And then we're going on to this one. This is also Silent Night as the name. The reason why I put this up a little bit more is because I like the color options in here, and it's surprisingly pretty versatile for a 8-pan palette. You could go some different directions, and the formula is excellent in here. This is one of their older holiday releases from like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I adore it. The mattes, super pigmented. The shimmers in here are really shifty and sparkly. This Babble shade, it goes from like a periwinkle teal to pink. It's stunning. This one is a shifty iridescent, so I really do love the formula, and I was impressed by overall the color story and how many things I could do with that palette. Then going on to this palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. I think this is a Scissorhand 1 palette. I think this was a winter like release because it has like the snowflakes. So I got it like later than when they actually launched it. But this one is kind of like a winter grunge palette is how I would describe it. It's a little bit more on the darker side. There is like this lighter shade you can use as the inner corner and this like peachy beige. But overall, it leans on the darker side. But the formula is excellent. I really love Wicked Widow's mattes. They're beautifully butterly pigmented. Butterly, I don't even think that's a word, but they're really easy to use. And then they have just beautiful shimmers. So that's why it's like right at the middle. I just think there's color stories that I love that are in the palettes that I'm about to show you. So that brings me now to the Cosmic Beauty Wonderland palette. It's so pretty. It has like all the colors that I love to wear. Greens, blues, and purples. They're cool tone. It's giving ethereal winter frost vibes. There are shifty like multi-chromes in here. Like this one right here goes from like pink. Do you see that? It's a really intense shift. This one too has like a blue to pink shift. So I do really like the multi-chrome shades that are in here. And the formula is also excellent from Cosmic Beauty. So this is a good one. Then we're going on to another Wicked Widow palette, which is the, I think the Scissorhand 2 palette. So cute. And this one, I just preferred the color story even more than the Scissorhand 1. And this one is also kind of similar to the Wonderland palette. And this one's also similar to like the colors that are in the Cosmic Beauty one with the blues, greens, and purples. I just think I love the shimmers from Wicked Widow Beauty even more, and that's why I put it up higher. And their mattes are just as good as Cosmic Beauty, maybe even a little better because they're very pigmented. So that's why I put that even higher, because we're almost to the top, right? Are we at, yeah, this is number 6, so we're like getting close up there, and it's really good. And it does have a little bit of grunge. And so overall, the color story also really appeals to me. And I think this is the first palette I tried from Wicked Widow Beauty. So the love started from this palette. And I also have a code with Wicked Widow Beauty, which is Britany Beauty. Just want to put that out there too. Now going on to number 5 in the ranking, which is a very new palette to me, but I'm very impressed by this one. It is the Frozen Kiss palette from Gourmande Girls. I do have a video up reviewing this and doing 2 looks, and I was just so happy with the 2 looks that I was able to create. And this is also giving winter snowy vibes, but it has like some different like muted colors thrown in. And I was looking at this palette next to the Wicked Widow one, and I realized, aren't they like super similar? I just wanted to show you guys that because I was shocked. I didn't do like a whole comparison in my review video, but I kind of wish I did because I just can't believe how close these are. You know? I just put this one up a little higher because I really, really love the shimmers that are in the Gourmande Girls one. They're like so sparkly, and like there's like holochromes in here. I just keep trying to show you. Like, I am shocked at how similar overall the color stories are between the two, but they have like just stunning sparkly shades in here, and I was just impressed. Like, they just keep improving as a brand, and they keep just stepping up their game with their mattes and with their shimmers. So that is why it's number 5, and I just got this one out of 15 palettes. That's really good. So now let's go on to number 4 in the ranking, which is the Cold Moon palette, which I love and adore. It's definitely more of a nudie cool tone palette, but what I love the most about this one is the shimmers are just next level. Shifty, sparkly, intense, ethereal, and I just love cool tones when it comes to nudes. Like, if I'm gonna do nudie looks, I'm gonna go towards cool tones. So this is probably my new favorite nudie palette with like interesting shifty shades, because it looks like it's cool tone gray and more muted, but the shifts on these are so intense, like to green, teal shifts. So it adds like interest to a more like toned down, cool nudie look. So that is why I love it so much, and it's pretty high up there. I almost put this higher, kept going back and forth, but I wanted to put ahead of it. I just think I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with the ones that are a little bit more colorful, but this is good. It's really good. It was really high up there on my Ensley Reign ranking of all my palettes. It might have been like number 3 or something like that. It was high up there. Then we're going on to another new palette from this year, the Fearless Holiday palette from DD Signature. This is good. It is beautifully pigmented with the mattes, and there's beautiful shimmers in here, and I love this color story. There's so much options that you could do with this. You can go like grungy but cool tone. You can go warm tone. You can just like stick into a really Christmassy kind of palette. And this is one that can transition from like fall right into winter. There's just so much you could do with this one. And it is like a little bit more affordable than like Ensley Reign palettes, which is also why I put it up over the Cold Moon one. And then you get like really high quality formula and shimmers and just stunning shades and options. And they did send this to me, so I'm so thankful that they did. But of course, I'm giving you guys my honest feedback. I would never like make some things up just because I got something sent to me. I really mean it when I say I love this color story. And I think this is the palette I'm going to take with me when I go to visit Casey's family for Christmas and use this for my Christmassy look. And maybe try to mimic something like this look. I don't know, but I might take these two with me. The Chicago Speakeasy one and this one. I just love it. It's really good. And I also have a code with DD Signature, which is Brucey Beauty. So if you want to save some money off. I think they're on a little break right now, like on vacation. But when they come back and their site's up, you can use that code. It is affiliated though. And now going on to number 2 in the ranking, which is the Oden's Eye Christmas palette. The first one that they did, the Merry Christmas palette. Straight up Christmas in this palette. Hey, look at that. But I do think the variety is really nice in here. Beautiful mattes. This was their older formula. Beautiful metallics and different textures in here. Love the packaging. I love how it makes me feel when I look at it. It makes me happy. I just think this is the most Christmassy looking palette out of all of them. And it gives me all the nostalgic vibes of like my childhood of Christmas. And I just love the formula, and I miss when Oden's Eye was this. But that's why it's number 2. It is really high up there because it's so good. And I don't think I'll ever let this go. Like, this will be protected for life. And then we're going on to number 1, which is the Christmas Eve palette. The other one they released for the holiday 2 years ago. This one is just a little bit more cool tone and wintry. And I just vibe with this one a lot because I really love my cool tones. I love blues. I love these other colors in here, a little bit of green, a little bit of grunge. So I think I just gravitate to this one a little bit more. But honestly, I love them equally. I just had to put them in a spot because it was a ranking. They could have easily both been number 1 interchangeably. Like, that's how much I love them. I often like using them together or traveling with them as a pair. I feel like they're just sister palettes and they always need to be with one another. They're just so good. So those were in the top on the ranking. I think I put those 2 at a top of a ranking on my palettes from, I think, the year before. They were up there. Like, that's how much I love them, and I still stand by those palettes. So that was the ranking, all of my holiday winter palettes. Hopefully this video was fun and interesting and made sense. I feel like I was kind of like rambling on and on about my thoughts and maybe repeating myself, but it's a ranking video and I'm talking about why I like shadows, and they're usually for the same reasons, or why palettes end up being lower or higher. But you guys will now have to let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments below? What did you think of this ranking? Would you have put things in different places? What are your favorite winter holiday palettes? What are your least favorites? I would just love to hear from all of y'all. Also, if you're new here and you enjoy this video and you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot on any makeup, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I will have all the palettes linked that are still available if you want to check them out for yourself, and any of the videos that I did on any of these palettes if you want to see them in action, see me create some looks with them. Like I said, I also have my makeup linked, and the video of me using the Nomad Speakeasy palette will be there for you. And I will have my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Brici_beauty and Brici Lifestyle. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really love that. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for being here, for supporting my channel and being amazing. I just hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season so far, and just sending you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.